and welcome to Healing Circle, I believe it's number 4. February 26, 2015. And we will be breaking about 10:28 to call in and welcome the Blog Talk listeners. So welcome everybody, and I'm glad you're here. Thank you. This morning for me during meditation, and I'm just leaning over here because I need to get something, Jesus asked me if I would play one of my singing bowls, and this is my handheld one, and because it's fragile, I keep it in a very secure case. And this singing bowl, is attuned to your heart. Actually, all my singing bowls are tuned to my heart. And I have an idea of why he wants me to do this, but everybody just take a nice big breath. And as you exhale, close your eyes for just a moment and allow yourself to take in the healing vibrations of the sound. If you're feeling it a little warp, say you're hearing a little bit of the warp, it's balancing out now. It's because it's balancing the vibration of your heart chakra. And I'm getting the signal to keep it going a little bit. And I'm being asked to continue. It's still going, but I just got the cue that, okay, it's time to stop it. I hope you all enjoyed that. There, I just want to make sure it's in safely. Sound is very profound, especially when it comes to healing and when it comes to balancing your chakra. When I use that on a client or one of my other sound bowls, which are all attuned to the heart chakra since I'm about love, you go all from the top all the way down very slowly over each chakra, and it balances the chakras and gets them vibrating into the vibrational space that they are open and balanced and vibrating at their fullest potential. So while we were listening to the last round of me moving it, I was asked by Sai Baba, and I'm trying to get this open. I have ashes from Sai Baba, and these ashes were created from the divine. I'm got to be really careful because I don't want to spill them. See, by Sai Baba, whoops, himself. I'll show you them without tipping them. So what was said to me while I was ringing the singing bell, the sound bell, is that I am to offer Sai Baba ashes for blessings. And that's possible because last week was Ash Wednesday, and I don't know. Oh, yep, okay. But it has nothing to do with the Catholic religion or any other religion. It has to do with a blessing. So, and I looked up like that because I was waiting for Sai Baba to give me an answer. Anyway, so anybody who would like to receive a blessing of ashes by Sai Baba, I will offer them now. And I'm going to put this right here. And then first you. Okay, now me. So now we've all been blessed. Of course, we're all very blessed anyway, but these were given to me many years ago. Well, not many years ago. It was shortly after his passing by a friend of mine who actually, by some miracle, she was giving them by Sai Baba in a spiritual form as a gift. Now, I also know that stuff like this happens all the time. Excuse me. And I have another friend who happened to be pumping gas one day. And she said that she actually saw Sai Baba. This was after his passing. But she saw him in the younger version of him. And she said that he stared at her, made eye-to-eye contact, and then he vanished. And in her hand was a crystal, which she later showed me when I saw her. But Sai Baba had manifested a crystal in her hand. So that's pretty amazing. All these divine master beings are pretty incredible on their level of vibration in transforming and transmuting, such as Saint Germain. So anyway, now that we've all have had our heart attuned and we have our Sai Baba blessings, I'm going to turn over the speaking to the Ascended Masters, and I believe it will be Jesus that will be coming through. Oops, okay, they want me to shuffle the cards first, so let's do that. And these again are my Mother Mary cards. So if anybody remembers, last week we got Miracle, and that was pretty exciting because I believe in miracles all the time. I think it's a miracle that we can get up and walk. I think it's a miracle that we can hear and see and touch and smell and taste. Those really are miracles because those are things we all take for granted. How many times do we take for granted those things? Many times. And there are some unfortunate people who go through the experience of losing some of those gifts from one reason or another, and some who are born without that gift. And I'm still shuffling here. Personally, I have always respected a lot of the gifts that I have, such as the ones that we're talking about. And when my first trip to Peru down in South America, I really got a deeper understanding of appreciation and gratitude. And I'll tell you, one of the things that really struck me is that the majority of people in Peru who live, they're in a third world country, are very grateful, and they're very grateful for what we would think would be the simplest things, such as walking, talking, hearing, and sensing, and smelling, and tasting. And they're grateful that they have toilet paper. And on my first trip, we were told that there would be some children that we would be spending time with when we spent time with the families, because sometimes we stayed in their homes, and when we were on the road, we stayed in, and I'm still shuffling, we stayed in hotels. So I wasn't sure how many children, so I brought 6 boxes of crayons, which I think were like a box of 12 or 18. And I bought some 6 coloring books, thinking for one for each child. And the amazing thing is that even if I had brought 1 box of crayons in 1 coloring book, they would have all shared it. They are grateful to have anything more than what they have. Besides, they have their love, and they have their beliefs, and they have their divine trust, which is amazing. They're such joyful people. And they would share it. Like, one person brought a Barbie doll and brought 1 Barbie doll. And I asked the shaman that we were working with, how are the other children going to react? There's only 1 Barbie doll. And he said, "Mama." I love when he does that. The children here share everything, and they share with an open heart. And I can see where this is going now, today's show, and why Jesus wanted me to play the sound bowl for the hearts, is that so many of us hold on to our things, our possessions. And and I'm not going to, I'm not coming from a place of religion, but one of the, important things that Jesus shared with us when he was walking and doing his ministry is that he talked about sharing Share the things you love with everyone. Because we are all one. We are all brothers and sisters. And whether you believe in Jesus or not, because Buddha said the same thing, and so did Kuan Yin. And I'm sure probably Sai Baba did too. I don't know because I haven't studied him. I just know a little bit about him. And I'm still shuffling because I'm being told to still shuffle. So it'll be really interesting what the card is today, though. And we're ready. All right. Today's card, isn't this amazing? I love this. I love divine intervention and timing. You're going to love this card. Family. And what are we talking about? Not just blood family. All of us are family. That's why we share what we can. We share what we love. We share our knowledge and wisdom. We share through hugs. We share through song and dance. I did say hugs. Okay. It says, I pray for my family and give this situation over to God for answers, support, and healing. Okay, so if I'm looking at this personally for myself, I am going to turn over to God all and any family issues that I personally have. And that includes my immediate family, my sibling, my children, and my cousins. I don't have any aunts or uncles left right now. They're all in spirit form. And all my friends, my neighborhood. Actually, I'm asking God to really, really help me with the love and support of my neighborhood. Because I live in a neighborhood that nobody really talks to each other. And everybody has their own church that they go to. And it's really interesting because, as you know, or you may not know, is I'm a multi-religious person, interfaith. I'm an intern minister for all faiths, which means I studied them all. And it's very interesting to watch the reactions and behaviors of some of the other religions, especially on my street, especially the ones like right around me, like next door or across the street, within like a block radius. Because they all claim to be Christians, and I believe that I'm a Christian because I believe my personal beliefs of a Christian is someone who loves themselves, loves each other, meaning everybody, does the best that they can to be the best that they can in service for God the Creator, and someone who is unconditionally thoughtful, caring, and loving, and truly, truly, from a pure heart, wants the best for all, with nothing in return, just the gratitude of giving and being of service, which is another thing that Jesus and Buddha and Kuan Yin and probably Sai Baba talked about. The interesting thing is that a couple of years ago, I was told by the divine to get personal plates called I Am. And at first, I was on my way back from an expo. So at first, as I'm listening, I think I was driving up 91. I said, is this my ego? Because I do that, you know, I'm really silly and I want to make sure that it's not my ego that's in the way. Because a lot of times our ego can get in the way of what we want or what we don't want. So I got a very clear message, no, this is not about ego. So the next day, which was a Monday, I called motor vehicles and the plates were available, so I got I Am plates. So in the meantime, I wondered what this was all about. So the first time I pumped gas, a gentleman who was also pumping gas asked me, "What does your I am plate mean?" And without even hesitation or thinking, I immediately bursted out and went, "I am divine, I am sacred, I am love, and so are you." And I had this huge smile on my face, and my eyes are all bright like they are right now. And the man smiled back, and he really embraced it and took it, which was really amazing. But the reason why I say I turn it over to God, the creator, in my neighborhood for family, is because my neighbors do not like my plates. And how do I know this? Because I get the evil eye. But that's okay, because, you know, I'm not judging this as I'm sharing this with you. It's mostly an observation and a witness, because people are really interesting. You know, they'll go to church, various churches, and they'll claim that they're Christians. And I'm not saying all of them. I'm not speaking for all of them. But I'm speaking for the ones who don't walk the talk. Because if these people, for example, surrounded by me, were really true Christians, then when I walked outside my house and they see me, they would not give me the evil eye look. Okay, they would embrace, or maybe they might even come over and say, "Jean, you know, those plates are really interesting. Could you tell me the reason behind it?" You know, people are interesting all the way. I know that there's people who live in other neighborhoods who probably go through the similar things. There's people in apartment buildings who go through similar things, where there's so many people out there that claim to be this religious person, yet they're out there judging and ridiculing people when they have no idea what's going on in their personal lives. You know, somebody could be ill, somebody could be going through some intense personal stuff, which would create a healing crisis, and who knows, you know, affect their health and their disposition. So anyway, I cheer rally on those true Christians that are walking their talk, regardless of whatever religion and faith you follow or not, but that walk that talk of that every human being is sacred and every human being is worthy. Every human being has the right to be healthy, happy, and joyful, and abundant. Every human being deserves to be seen as their divine self. Now, sure, there's some people out there with their behaviors that we do not like, because it isn't nice, their behavior. They're still divine beings. They're still our brother or sister, but they just haven't awoken yet. So personally, for me, when I see those kind of people, I pray for them in my head, and I ask them to see that they are love and light. So in about 3 to 4 more minutes, we're going to take a break, a short break, while I call into Blog Talk. And at that time, everybody can get their water ready, for those of you who would like a water blessing. And then we'll do a meditation. I'm not really sure what the meditation is going to be, but I have a feeling it's going to be about releasing the blocks that prevent us from really stepping into the brother and sisterhood of each other. And remember, you know, we all came here for our earthly experiences. And we all came here to remember our truth and who we are. If anybody was here 2 weeks ago, I think it, yeah, 2 weeks ago, when I read The Sun and the Little Soul. That was to help remind everybody, all come here for the experiences. You know, and sometimes we repeat the same experiences because we just haven't learned the lesson. And some of those lessons could be, I don't know, maybe being a gambler, maybe being an alcoholic, maybe being a thief. And also, you know, they could have gone through these experiences also in a past life, and in this lifetime, they want to know what it's like to be in the other shoes. And you know, we never know what's going on. A couple of years, about 4 years ago, I had driven my youngest daughter out to Chicago to DePaul University, and the day before, or 2 days before, we had spent the night at my cousin's. And his wife was telling me that the young man across the street, an older teenager, I don't even think he was 17 or 18 yet, so maybe a middle-aged teenager, had committed suicide while his parents weren't home. And she went to the place of judging this teenager. Oh, he must have had mental disorders. Maybe he was on drugs. I don't remember everything, her exact words, because like I said, it was about 4 years ago. But my point was that she was judging him. So, of course, I always got to say something. So I opened my mouth, and this did not sit well with her, but that's okay. I hope she digested it well later on. But my response to her was, why would you assume that he was on drugs or he had some kind of mental disorder immediately off the bat? You don't know what goes on behind closed doors. No one knows what really goes on behind those doors with parents, with siblings. And there's a lot of stuff that can happen. Who knows, you know? Maybe he was somebody who was a transgender or somebody who was gay and his parents couldn't accept it. Who knows? We have no idea. But my point is, I'm bringing this up, is that we need to love everyone unconditionally and without fault and without judgment. We are all worthy of being loved. So, on that note, we're going to take a short break. I'm going to call in Blog Talk, and we'll be right back. Oh, get your water if you choose to participate. Good morning. I always forget about that. Good morning, Blog Talk listeners. Welcome, welcome, welcome. And just so you know, we welcome callers at 347-989-8446. And please don't feel pressured to call in. I'm just letting everybody know that we welcome them. So what we're talking about is opening the heart, being in the place of heart and service by loving yourself, loving each other, and all as brothers and sisters in a non-judgment, unconditional way. So if you will just take a moment to get your water, we're going to let those Blog Talk listeners get their water. And we're going to do a meditation to bring your heart into a very balanced, opening heart of your divine I Am presence. So let's do the water first. And my hands are over your water. Clearing the cells of the water. Infusing the cells with Creator God cells, Christ conscious cells, and blessings. And it's ready. So you can drink it now. And you'll feel the effects between 0 and 5 minutes. So I'm just going to play my singing bowl shortly, a little bit, just to get everybody back into that heart space. And all our Google and YouTube listeners back there. Take a nice, big, cleansing breath. And if you choose, close your eyes. And just allow this heart chakra singing bowl to clear, center, balance, and ready your heart chakra. And I do realize that we have somebody holding, and I will address you if you could please be patient. In your next breath, breathe in your I Am presence and exhale it deep into your heart. Breathe in your I Am presence and exhale deep within your heart. Breathe in your I am presence. Exhale deep into your heart. Breathe in your I am presence and exhale into your heart. Breathe in love and exhale love into your Earth Star, 10 inches below your feet. Exhale love into your feet. Breathe in love. Exhale love into your root chakra. Breathe in. Exhale love into your sacrum. Breathe in love. Exhale love into your navel. Breathe in love. Exhale love into your solar plexus. Breathe in love. Exhale love into your heart. Exhale love into your body chakra, 10 inches above your head. Breathe in love. Exhale love into your chakra, above your head. Now everybody should be feeling the love and feeling their God self. So while we're all resonating with that, I'm going to pick up this caller. Oops. Welcome, caller at area code 512. Thank you for holding.
Thank you. Hi, how are you today?
I'm good. You've been very patient. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem. Listen, that was really wonderful. That felt really, really great. I appreciate that.
Oh, you're welcome. You've been here a while waiting. So, would you feel like sharing what you're feeling, experiencing?
Sure. Excuse me, I'm sorry. I feel like my heart chakra just kind of expands and I just feel the love coming through, but I also feel it going all the way down through my entire body and out my feet, and I kind of feel it just kind of radiating just throughout my whole aura. It feels amazing.
Oh, thank you for sharing. May I ask your first name?
Sure. My name is Melissa.
Oh, hi, Melissa. Welcome. Well, this way I can say Melissa.
Thank you.
So, what can I do for you, Melissa?
I just wondered if you could talk to me a little bit about. I met someone, and really without even being able to spend much time together, we had this really amazing connection, amazing intense connection, something like I've never in my life felt before. And we were pretty much immediately separated and have no contact with one another. And I feel him, and I feel his energy, I feel his feelings, and I just wonder if you can pick up on any of that. I mean, I'm wondering if it's the same for him, and if we will be reunited again.
Let me ask you something, Melissa. Did you notice when you met this man and you spent time together, whether you were physically together or over the phone or over the computer, did you feel your body vibrate?
Yes, mainly in my heart. I mean, I felt like my heart chakra was just like my heart was just expanding far, far, far out of my body, and it was as if this like a magnet, like if it was just being pulled towards him, and it's been amazing.
You met your twin flame.
I'm sorry?
You met your twin flame.
I knew it.
Yes, he'll be back.
Honestly, I didn't even know anything about them until this happened, and I started to read about it. And
he will be back physically in your life, Melissa. What I have learned from speaking with other people who have met their twin flames, they say it's very intense, and as you know, you were describing, and that sometimes they'll step back from each other, or one will step back because it's so overwhelming in a way that on some level they can't believe this is really happening, or that it's possible to have that such a deep pull of connection. And some people, depending on their level of self-love and worth in that time of meeting, will feel that they don't deserve it. So I'm getting from my spirit guides, the divine guides, that you will be back physically together. And yes, to answer your question, he feels everything that you're feeling. So what you can do. Sorry. What you can do in the meantime is you can talk to him through telepathy. You can sit down in a quiet space and you can send a pink love cord from your heart to his heart. And if you decide to do this, send soft, gentle love. Because being twin flames, if you put yourself in an excited, energetic space, it's going to come like rushing, like a wave. Does that make sense?
Yes, ma'am, it does.
Okay. I have another call.
It's interesting that you say that.
Oh, go ahead, share that, and then I need to let you go.
It's interesting that you. Okay.
No, please say what you were going to say.
It's interesting that you say that, because that's really what I've been drawn to do. I've been drawn to just sit with myself, and I picture him, and I breathe in love, and then I blow it out to him, and I blow it. I first do white light, and then I turn it to pink light. And I just, every time I exhale, I'm exhaling like straight to his heart, this pink light.
Melissa, I have joy tears right now because you are doing exactly what you're supposed to be doing for helping reconnect with this man. And I love that you're following your guidance and your the divine's you know uh, push to get you to do these things. That's really great because some people will just ignore it, and so awesome. But
thank you. There's no way I could ignore this.
I am so excited and happy for you and happy for him. And just keep continuing doing that, and doing it really gently. And you'll be physically back together. What I'm sensing is within the next week to 2 weeks at the most, but I'm getting more like within the next 7 days. But I need to let you go. Yes, I need to let you go so I can take this one more call so that way I can get this person in before the show ends. Just so you,
Yes,
you're welcome. Melissa, if you're available, I start the Google Plus show and YouTube at 10 Eastern Time. So if you want to join us next week at 10, instead of coming on Blog Talk, I mean, not dissing Blog Talk, that's not what I'm saying. But if you would like to be here for the whole hour, tune in through the Google Plus or YouTube.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for calling in, and call back when you're reunited again physically, because it's going to happen very soon.
I will. Thank you.
You're welcome, and congratulations. Thank you. God bless you.
Bless you.
I so love. Good morning, Karen. Thank you for calling in.
Thank you for taking my call. I just like about the
Oh, I'm having a hard time hearing you. We have a bad connection.
Is this better?
Oh, yes. Thank you.
No problem. I've been married to the same man for 28 years. The period, I feel like for some reason, it's more like a mother tone, but I've been noticed that he's really trying hard and wanting to love me, but he does have problems with getting into flirting relationships, and some of them even a little more. I'm not sure what to extent a lot more, but he keeps begging me to stay. And of course I do, because I care, and we've got children and grandchildren. But I'm at that point where I'm trying to figure out what they say about, are we meant to be together, or are we just because of comfort, and because of mutual connection?
I understand your question, Karen, because a lot of people stay in relationships because they've been together for so long, and because they have children, and you said you have grandchildren. And sometimes they stay together because they're meant to stay together, and sometimes they're meant to separate. Have you tried together? Have you tried some type of spiritual counseling?
He's not open to that at all.
Is he open to healing, like holistic healing?
No. He's a sweet man, and sometimes it's really hard to open my heart to him again, because just when I do, then something else comes up. So I'm trying to do what's best for both of our highest goods.
Okay, and what are you doing that's for your personal highest good?
I do a lot of spirituality and praying and healing, learning self-love, and
Okay. Have you tried prayer and meditation, sending him peace and love, like, through thought and prayer, to help him see that he is worthy and he is love?
No, I haven't done that. I don't.
You can try that, Karen. If you choose to stay in the relationship, then you can use these types of tools to help awaken your husband. And then, at that point, you can decide what is best for you. I'm not suggesting you leave him. I'm just saying that when we stay in a relationship where we're not completely fulfilled in all levels, then we are not loving ourselves.
Okay.
But I also believe personally that when we are in a marriage, and I'm speaking for myself, okay, that before I would end a marriage, I would personally do everything I could think of, whether before walking away. So that way I could walk away in a clear conscience without any guilt, knowing I did everything possible.
Exactly. That's where I'm coming from too.
And you're such a loving woman, and I can feel it in you, and you need to pat yourself on the back too, because you love this man and your marriage enough to continue searching for ways and tools to enhance. So one of my suggestions is, when you sit in meditation or prayer, whichever you do, or both, send from your heart a pink love cord, right, to his heart, with the intentions of gently just passing him love. When you're in prayer, ask for him to begin to know that he is love. Like if you're praying to God for an example, God, help my husband say his name. I mean, not right now, but when you're doing it, help my husband, let's say his name is Bill. Help my husband, Bill, to open his heart and his ears and eyes so that he can see how worthy he is and how deserving he is, and help him to see how much I love him and support him. And then turn that over to God, right? And allow yourself to personally create him transitioning. And what I mean by that is, when we're kids, we play make-believe and pretend. Okay, well, that's how, as adults, we manifest and create. So see, feel, know your husband's heart is opening, okay? Feel, see, trust, and know that he's going to open up and start expressing to you. And open up to spiritual counseling, open up to holistic healing. I do couples healings also, just to throw that out there. And there are lots of things that you can, from your heart, project, and like every day. Oh, I can feel my husband's heart opening to self-love. I can feel my husband's heart opening to self-love, whether you say it or think it. Now, you may not see an immediate change in one day, okay? But I promise you, you will. Because I worked as a paraprofessional a couple chunk of years ago, and I worked in a small school, and I'll say this really fast, that where nobody would welcome me. And it was a very small school. There was 6 teachers, 1 nurse, 1 principal, 1 secretary. Like 53 kids in the school. And I would sit in my car and I would actually cry because I'm a really friendly person. And I would be wondering why nobody would be friendly back. So one day in a shower, the divine came to me and said, Jean, send love to everybody in this school every day and watch the magic happen. And Karen, by the next day, I had people smiling at me. By the 3rd day, I was invited to sit in the lunchroom, which is like as small as like a regular kitchen, you know, because it's a small. So I am living proof that this really works.
Beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
That's beautiful, Jean.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So try it, Karen.
You.
Please. You've got nothing to lose and an amazing experience to have. And, you know, and you'll get to blossom your husband opening in that way.
I love that. Thank you.
I love you, Karen. Thank you. And please call back and let us know how it goes, okay?
I will. Thank you.
You're welcome. Start doing it right away.
Beautiful.
Ah,
Okay.
you are welcome, and you are divine and sacred, and you are beautiful too. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. So we'll see you again. So anyway, this has been a great show, talking about love and, you know, non-judging, but sharing that love from the heart, stepping into our love space. I want to remind you that I'm here every Thursday at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time on Google+, on YouTube Live, and then, of course, Blog Talk kicks in at 10:30. And you can find my website at www.jeanofdivinehealing.com. And I'm also on Facebook. I do healings. I do healings in person. I do healings over the phone. I do healings over Skype. And I also do couples healings. And I've done a bunch of couple healings, and they've been really amazing. Just to one down real quick, I had a couple who had gone through a chunky years of struggles, and they decided to try a couples healing.
60 seconds.
And what I did was I cleared the debris of the baggage that had caused it to get to the place where it was. And then I reweaved them back together, filled them with their personal, deep love for each other. And I wasn't out the driveway and they were already making love. So that's pretty powerful. But it takes 2 people really wanting it. Because if one person is just doing it to satisfy or pacify the other, it's not going to work permanently. It's just going to be a temporary Band-Aid. So with that, I will say thank you for joining me. Thank you for being here.
10 seconds.
You are love. You are divine creator, master beings. Namaste. Aho. God bless you. See you next week. And here we go with the countdown. I'm excited. God bless you and God love you. And remember your love.
Thank you for using Blog Talk Radio.
See you all next week.